So we are going to start in Sukhasana this morning. And like I said, props if you like using props, but nothing particular or special that you might need. And we are going to focus on the idea of paying attention to our skin with this deeper idea of starting to bring our focus inward, and like, what's the first place you can bring your focus inward, which would be our most outer layer. So with that thought process in mind, take a second to come to a nice comfortable seat. Maybe wiggle into your sits bones, make sure your legs feel comfortable. Find a nice uplifted spine. And then just for a moment, let your shoulders get soft and heavy. Let your arms be soft and heavy. And then right away, as you start to pay attention, notice the places that you notice, and then get an idea of the places that you don't focus your attention on. So maybe you notice your hands or your legs, but you didn't notice your belly and your ribs. So just kind of tune in and see, where does your focus immediately go? And there's no right or wrong, just take a moment to pay attention. And then as you start to settle in, take a second to readjust anything that may have found it needs a little bit replacement. And then once you found a more comfortable seat, lift up just a little taller through the crown of your head. And then if you can, draw your chin back and down slightly, as if you're trying to make just a tiny little double chin. So we just want to draw the headline back a little bit. The head, the heart, the hips are all in line. And then once you've found that sense of alignment in the spine, can you let your awareness come down to your butt or your sits bones? So just kind of notice the floor underneath your seat. Maybe even give your bum a little wiggle just to kind of get a sense of your sits bones connected to the ground. And then let your awareness come up and around and notice your front of your hips and your inner thighs. And then if you're holding a lot of tension in the front of your hips or your inner thighs, can you let the skin of your inner thighs soften? And now can you let your awareness travel to the space between the backs of your knees? So especially if you're in Sukhasana with your legs bent, notice that, or think about that space between the backs of your knees, which is closed in right now. And you might notice a sense of warmth in that place. No right or wrong, but see if you can just tune in and notice. And then start to think about the leg as a whole unit and just see if you can maybe notice the texture of fabric on your skin. And sometimes it's hard to discern that, especially when you become sort of just involved in wearing your clothes and you don't pay attention to them. So if you can, just for a moment, even if it helps, let your hands feel the outside of the fabric on your skin, and then tune in and see if you can just get a sense or an idea of that connection of your skin to the fabric that you're wearing. And now see if you can let your awareness come down a little further to your feet, and then maybe just even give your toes a little wiggle or scrunch up the bottoms of your feet. So you just kind of make your feet feel just a little bit more alive, and then let them soften, and then just notice the skin of your feet. Notice how the top of your foot feels different than the bottom of your foot. Do your feet feel cool or warm? And then notice the points of your feet that are connected to the ground or connected to your yoga mat. And then just see if you can kind of feel the texture of whatever is underneath your feet. And then allow your awareness to come up the backs of your legs, back to your butt. Notice that solid floor underneath you. And then see if you can lift your attention up the torso and almost imagine that you're pulling the skin of the side body up. So you're just lifting a little bit energetically up through the crown of your head. And then notice if you lost that posture, pull your chin back, just like you're making that little mini double chin. And then once you're there, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and we're just going to come back to the breath. Take a nice, generous inhale, fill your lungs up. And a nice, slow breath out. Take another nice big inhale. And then as you start to pay attention to the breath, maybe you notice that gentle movement of the skin that comes with the breath. And take one more breath here. And then before we move away from this place, just take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, the hand that's on the belly, stack it on top of the hand that's on the heart, put a gentle press onto your chest, and then we're going to start to move gently with the breath here. As you inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up. Maybe notice that movement of skin in the front of the neck and the throat. Exhale, tuck your chin down and maybe notice the movement of skin in the back of your neck. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. And then bring your head to a neutral place. Let your hands come down to your knees. And then we're going to start like a little bounce. Like when we sometimes come to the front end of our mat and we start to pop our heels and bounce. Now, can you just add a little bounce to your legs? You're going to let your legs bounce a little bit. You're going to let your torso bounce a little bit. And it might not be as big or vigorous as the bounce that you do when you're standing at the front of your mat, but you'll definitely notice it in your breath because I can feel it when I'm speaking. So if you can, just invite like a little bit of bounce in. And then let that bounce come to stillness, move right into a cat-cow breath. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale and round your back. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale to round your back. And do that one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Find a neutral spine and then come back to that bounce. Let your legs bounce a little. Let your chest and your belly bounce a little. Maybe your arms bounce a little. Take one more moment just to find that little bit of vibration in the body. And then left hand's going to touch down to the ground. Right hand reaches up. Take a nice big side bend, leaning out just as far as feels good, but then tune in. Notice the side of your body. Notice the skin on the side of the body. Take a nice big breath and feel that movement of breath in your skin. Beautiful. Lift up and take it over to the other side. Right hand touches down, left hand reaches up. Go just as deep as feels good to you, but then tune in and notice. Notice your movement of breath in your body. Nice. And then come back up nice and easy and then come back to that bounce. So hands rest wherever feels most comfortable, but can you bounce your knees? Can you let a little bounce come into your chest, a little bounce into your breath? Take one more good gentle bounce and then let that come to stillness, move right into a seated twist. Right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand behind you. Think about getting nice and tall. Take one more breath here and just see if you can notice the skin gently moved for that twisted position. Awesome. And then come back to center. Take a nice full breath. Just allow your lungs to expand. And then when you feel ready, take it over to the other side. Find your twist. Think about getting nice and tall. Take a moment to tune in. Notice that twisted position of your skin. Cool. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Pause here for a moment. Close your eyes down. Take a nice full inhalation. Fill your lungs up. And a nice slow exhalation. Awesome. And then lean back into your sits bones, send your legs out in front of you. We're going to take a little seated ragdoll here. So feet nice and wide, super generous, bend to the knees. Think belly up and over. But as you take belly up and over, think about that skin moving with you. So pull the skin upward if you can, and then lean your chest forward just to a handhold that feels right. And then allow a softness to come into the back of the body. But can you allow that softness to be generated from your skin? Can you soften the outer edges of your skin? And then can you take a moment to come back to that awareness of movement of breath in your body? So notice the backside of your body, your shoulder blades, your ribs. And as you breathe in and out, can you feel the breath in your skin? Take one more breath here. And then nice and easy, walk yourself back up, step your feet in a little bit closer, hands behind the back, and take a couple gentle windshield wipers here, just to bring a little fluid movement into the hips. But as you start to move here, if it feels good to do so, close your eyes down and see if you can just tune in. Notice your skin moving here. So you might notice your skin of your feet getting a little change of contact points. You might notice that little gentle movement of fabric on your skin. You might get a sense of big movement of skin right at that front hip pocket area. So maybe just pause for a moment, take the time to notice that movement of skin. Take one more swish of the knee side to side. And then when you're ready, spin it around, find your way into a tabletop position or come onto all fours. And then as you come onto all fours, first things first, we're going to notice our hands. So spread your fingers nice and wide, and then just tune in and see if you can pay attention to the palms connected to the yoga mat or whatever surface that you're working in. Notice the palms of your skin, and then let your awareness come up to the tops of your hands. So notice the backs of your hands opening, exposed to the air. Close your eyes down for just a moment. Tune in and see if you can feel that connection. Hands connected to your mat, open air of your hands at the top. Nice, and then trace that line of awareness of your skin up your arms, and then just take a couple of little rotations of your elbows. So eyes the elbows forward and then eyes the elbows out. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but just get that idea of how your skin moves with your arms. And then draw that line of awareness up into your shoulders. And then we're going to broaden the shoulders just a little bit. So think about pulling the abdomen up just slightly. So you got a nice firm belly, nice broad shoulders. And then think about that idea of that expansion of the skin across the backs of your shoulders. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Cool. And then from here, we're going to take, like we're making shoulder circles. So if I said roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back, but we're going to take that in our tabletop position. So you're going to drop the chest down and circle the shoulders around. So we want to start to find some nice, generous movement up in the shoulders. Think about circling the shoulders up to the ears, around, down, and back, but you're going to have that connection point of your hands touching the floor. Beautiful. Take one more circle around in this direction, and then reverse directions, go the other way. Nice. Take one more circle around, and then find that neutral tabletop. Curl your toes under. Pause for a moment with the toes curled under, and just notice. Notice the bottoms of the feet. Notice that little space between the toes and the soles of the feet. So that little crease where your toes meet your soles of your feet. Think about that space for a moment. And then once you get a sense, or just that tuning in idea of noticing that place, now pull your butt back to your heels, get a little stretch to the toes and the bottoms of the feet, and then right away, come back up to your tabletop position. Keep the toes curled under, pull your butt back to your heels, get a sense of the skin at the bottoms of the feet, and then come forward. Pull your butt back to your heels. Notice the toe pads connected to your yoga mat, and then come forward. And then this time we're going to pull the butt back to the heels. Stay there for an extra breath or two. Just kind of tune in and notice. Do your feet feel cool or warm? Can you notice the texture of the mat underneath your toes? Can you notice your heels and the outer edges of your ankles that might be exposed to the cooler air? And then when you're ready, lift up into your tabletop position, release your toes, move right into puppy pose. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Keep your hips fairly in line with your knees. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. If your forehead can touch the surface of your mat, go ahead and let it. And then if you feel that connection point there, kind of tune in and notice, does your forehead feel warm compared to the surface of your mat? Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully walk yourself back up to a tabletop position, slide your right leg back, toes curled under, take a couple of rocks forward and back, just gently moving, and think about that movement of skin on the back of your leg. So as you push through the heel, there's a movement in the calf, there's a movement in the ankle. You might notice a little gentle tug at the back of your knee. Can you sense a little bit of movement coming all the way up to the back of the thigh? Take one more moment here, and then we're going to take that leg nice and big, step it all the way up to the top of your mat into a 90-90 lunge. Lift yourself up, and then just readjust your feet so you feel good and stable in that 90-90 lunge. Hands on your hips, and we're going to move right into it. Draw the knee forward, and then push your way back up. Draw the knee forward, and then get an idea of that skin on the knee, the top of the thigh moving with you. Push yourself back up. Nice. Move yourself forward, get the idea of the skin moving at the ankle and the heel. Push your way back up, and then toe heel that foot out about 45 degrees and right back to it. Knee draws out. Now maybe pay attention to the skin moving at the inner thigh. Knee draws out. Maybe a little notice of that skin moving from your butt. Knee draws out, come back to that front of the ankle, get the idea of the skin moving there, and then toe heel that foot out nice and wide, or as wide as you like to go, and then back to it. Lean out. Take a moment here just to notice where in your body do you feel movement. Awesome. One more time, out and in. And then toe heel that foot all the way back to the front end of your mat. And we're going to take it into a twist. So left hand's going to reach over towards the right knee. Keep your right hand on the hip, leverage against that knee, rotate just as far as feels good to you. Take a nice big breath and notice that movement of breath in your skin. Nice. And then when you're ready, release your twist, hands to the ground, step that right foot back, readjust your tabletop as needed. And then we're going to slide the left leg back, toes curled under, take a few rocks forward and back. Notice the back of your leg. Notice that movement of skin in your foot and your ankle. Move that level of awareness up your calf, the back of your knee, and the back of your thigh. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, nice big step of that leg, step it forward into your 90-90 lunge, lift your heart up, hands on your hips, and away we go. Driving that knee forward and then pushing back nice and strong. Notice maybe you'll even notice that knee that's on the ground. There's that little trap of skin of that knee down there. So maybe you can notice that movement against the floor. Awesome. Toe heel your feet about 45 degrees and away we go. Leaning out. Maybe you notice a little bit of movement in the outer edge of your right hip as you move out and in. One more time. Awesome. And now toe heel it out nice and wide, or as wide as you like to go. Lean out. Notice where you feel movement in your skin. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, toe heel it all the way back in and then move right into your twist. Right hand's going to reach across, leverage against that knee, twisting to the left just as far as you like. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, unwind, hands to the ground, step that left leg back, come back into your tabletop position, and then just take a little bop of the hips, like you're trying to drop your hips towards the ground. As you bop your hips here, is a great place. Maybe you'll notice that gentle pressure of your knees against the floor. You might notice the fabric of your clothes against your knee, but can you tune in and notice that little bit of movement of the skin around your knees? Awesome. Take one more swish of those hips side to side and then bring it back to center. Curl both toes under, pull your butt back to your heels, pause just for a moment, get that little stretch to the toes and the bottoms of the feet. And then we're going to keep the toes curled under, start to lift your butt up, hover your knees, and then lift up into your downward facing dog. As you come into your downward facing dog, start to pedal out the legs, but let your awareness come up to your hands. So notice the skin of your hands connected to the floor. Notice the tops of your hands. Move your awareness up your arms, up to your shoulders. Notice your armpits and the sides of your body. Nice. Take one or two more pedals of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice little ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, toes and knees pointing fairly forward, make a little space for your belly and your chest, and then just let everything hang nice and heavy here. If you like, grab hold of your elbows, and then right away, notice that connection of skin. So you might notice the palms of your hands touching your elbows. Are your hands cool or warm? Are your arms cool or warm? Maybe even get a sense of how the texture of your skin feels. Does it feel delicate or does it feel sturdy? Take one more moment here just to notice whatever it is that you notice. And then when you're ready, relax your hands down to the ground and we're gonna move into 3 halfway forward folds. So as you inhale, hands are gonna glide to the shins, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, soften down. Inhale, come to that half forward fold and think about letting the skin on the back of your body just come alive. So brighten up through the back of the body. And then when you're ready, exhale, soften back down. And then do that one more time. Inhale, lift up, brighten up through the back of the body like you're drawing energy out through the crown of your head. Nice. And then bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. And then as you come to standing, just give a second, get yourself situated so that your clothes are comfortable on your skin, and then find your mountain pose. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, feet nice and anchored on the ground. And if you like, lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can just to really get that surface area covered. And then relax your toes down in that wider spread position. Push gently into your feet. Feel your feet connected to the floor. Reach up through the crown of your head. And then can you come back to that idea of brightening up through the outer edges of your skin, almost as if you're trying to wrap yourself up with your own skin. So brighten up through the outer edges of your skin, lift up through the crown of your head. Pause here for a moment, close your eyes down, keep that brightened up situation and take a nice full inhale. Nice slow exhale. Awesome. Soften your knees just a little bit, and then we're going to take a little vibration of the arms. So we're just going to start by just shaking the right arm. Give it a good and vigorous shake. As you start to vigorously shake that arm, kind of notice the little wiggle and jiggle of your skin. You might notice the wiggle and jiggle of your fabric. You might notice it coming up into your chest and your breath. Take one more good vigorous shake of that arm. Set it down. Pause for a moment. Notice. Take a nice big breath. And then take it over to your left arm. Give your left arm a good and vigorous shake. Notice how one side might feel a little different than the other or sound a little different. I've got a little watch and a bracelet that makes a little noise. So just kind of tune in. Notice those little subtle variations. Give it a good sound shaking. You might notice it up into your shoulder, up into your chest. You might even notice it in your breath. Awesome. And then let that arm settle down. Close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then before we move into our flow, just one more little awareness of our skin on our arms. So we're just going to take the left hand over to the right arm and brush upward, like you're brushing it up towards the heart. So you're going to brush upward to the top of the arm, brush to the back of the arm, and then brush to the inside of the arm, and then take it over to the other side. Brush upward towards the heart, up the inside of the arm, up the back side of the arm, and then let both hands come back to your mountain pose. Anchor into your feet, lift up through the crown of your head. Notice the skin on your arms. Inhale, reach your arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Notice the skin in your arms. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Interlace your fingers here. Flip the palms, press them forward. Glide the shoulders down. Pause for a moment and just notice. Notice the skin on your arms. Notice the skin in your palms. You might even notice that little connection of the webs of your hands connected, and notice the skin there. Take one more breath, and then keep that interlace of the fingers, push the palms up and overhead, readjust your shoulders as needed. And then once you're up and overhead, come back to that awareness. Notice the skin on your arms, the skin of your hands. You might even bring your awareness down into your armpits here and maybe just notice that space, that opening up as your arms are up and overhead. Awesome. And then when you're ready, unlace your fingers, float your arms down, roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. We're going to stay in a folded position and just bring a little bit of brush up the legs. So think about bringing a little pressure into your hands, brush up your shins, up the sides of your legs, up the backs of your calves, and then bring it up to your thighs. Brush up the inner thighs, brush up the tops of the thighs, the sides of the thighs, the backs of the thighs, and then take it back down into your fold. Pause for a moment, notice your legs. Take a nice big breath in, slow breath out. Plant your palms, step back to downward facing dog. Notice the backs of your legs here. Notice your arms. We're going to shift our weight forward into a plank position. So bring your shoulders in line with the wrists, readjust your feet as needed. And then once you're there, pause for a moment. Notice the skin on your legs, nice and sturdy, nice and strong. And then see if you can find that brightening up again. So think about wrapping up the skin, lifting a little energy all the way up to the crown of your head. Take one more breath. Nice. And then release your knees down, lower gently down onto your belly. Take your time as you come down, and then pause for a second as you come down. Give everything a little wiggle. Wiggle out your shoulders, wiggle out your butt, make sure everything feels good. Bring your hands alongside your shoulders with your elbows kind of softly hugging in at the ribs, and then notice your hands connected to the floor. Maybe spread your fingers just a little bit wider. Notice the tops of your hands. Notice your feet touching the ground, and then gently press your toenails into the earth. Draw your tailbone down toward your heels. So just create a little space in the low back. Once you've found that here, you're going to tune in and notice your belly and the front of your body connected to the floor. And those connection points are going to change slightly. We're going to take 3 low cobras here. But as you take those low cobras, you're going to go just as far as feels nice. And you notice the sensation of the skin through the front of the body. So as you inhale, lift your heart up just as high as you like. Exhale and lower down. Notice your skin through the front of your body. Inhale, lift your heart up just as high as you like. Doesn't have to be high for you to notice. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl your toes under, and as you exhale, take it back up to your downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of the legs. And then when you're ready, look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to a nice forward fold at the top of your mat. Notice your feet connected to the floor. Notice the skin of your feet. Lift your toes, spread your toes, relax your toes back down to the ground, and then bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Nice. So now we're going to take a little vibration of the legs. So shift your weight over to your left foot, pick your right leg up, and just give it a good vigorous shake. Let the skin and the muscle just get real wiggly jiggly. So it doesn't need to look like anything in particular, but we want to start to find a little bit of vibrational movement to the outer edges of the skin if we can find it. So take 1 or 2 more good vigorous shakes of that leg. And then when you're ready, set that foot down, pause for a moment, notice, and then take it over to the other side. Pick your left leg up, give it a good sound shake. Get that skin moving, get the muscle moving, get that vibration coming to the outer edges of your skin. Take 1 or 2 more good vigorous shakes of that leg, and then set it down. Pause for a moment and notice. Anchor into your feet. Lift up through the crown of your head. Awesome. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, whatever feels good to you. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step the right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or released, whatever feels good. But then once you've released or tucked your toes, for a moment, just notice. Notice the skin at the bottom of the feet. Notice your toes. And then when you feel like you've got your legs adjusted, hand to that front knee, lift your chest. We're going to take it right into a twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee, rotate to the left, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Release that twist. Hands are going to find the ground. We're going to take 3 half splits here. As we rock forward and back, Tune in and notice where in your body do you feel the most sensation? No right or wrong, but just notice. Beautiful. And then the next time you rock forward into that low lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. We're going to curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. Right hand's going to stay on the ground. Left hand's going to reach up. Notice the movement of skin in the side body as you find that twist. Take one more breath. Release that hand down, plant the palms, step back to plank. Once you've got that plank position, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower gently down. Beautiful. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up just a little bit. Notice the skin in the front of the body. Exhale, lower down. And now either push your way up to a tabletop or power your way up to a plank, whichever you like best, and then lift up into your downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Notice your feet connected to the floor. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up. Notice the skin in the back of your body as you roll up. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, low lunge. Step the foot back, bring the knee down, and then you choose whatever you like with the toes. But then once you've got your toes figured out, pause for a moment, notice. Awesome. Bring your hand to your knee, lift your chest, and we're going to take it right into our rotation. So left hand to the right knee, right hand to the hip, rotate to the right, take a nice big breath. Notice that little bit of movement in the side body as you take your last breath here. And then when you're ready, release, hands to the ground, 3 half splits. Rock yourself back, let the front toes peel up, and then maybe just notice where in your body or where in your skin do you feel the most sensation here. Awesome. The next time you rock forward, curl the back toes under, pick the back knee up. Left hand's going to stay on the ground. Right hand reaches up. Notice the skin of your palm on the ground. Notice that reach up through the fingertips, and you might even notice the open air and the palm that's up in the sky. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Bring that hand down to the ground. Plant the palms, step back to a plank. Right away, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Notice that movement of skin through the front of the body. Exhale to lower down. Either take it through tabletop or power up to a plank, and then find your way up to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. And now we're going to come back to a bounce, but now we're just going to let the whole body bounce. So we're going to bounce the heels, wriggle the arms, let your legs get soft and vibrational, let your lungs move, let your chest move, let your belly move, let everything kind of bounce and move with you. And then as you find this bounce here, you're just bouncing as safely as feels comfortable to you, but we want to invite that vibration to the outer edges of the skin, noticing that vibration in your breath. Beautiful. Take one more good bounce, and then let the bouncing come to stillness. Shake your right arm. Let that come to stillness. Shake your left arm. Let that come to stillness. Shake your right leg. Set that leg down. Shake your left leg. Set that leg down. Find your mountain pose. Anchor into your feet. Lift up through the top of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, toes tucked or released, totally up to you. This time, inhale, lift your arms up, lift your belly away from the thighs. Beautiful, take it into your twist. Right hand to the left knee, rotate to the left, take a nice big breath. Release your hands down to the ground, moving into our half splits. Rock yourself forward and back about 3 times. As you rock forward here, curl the back toes under, pick the back knee up, pause for a moment, notice the movement of skin in the back of your heel, right hand down, left hand reaches up to the sky. Release that left hand down, plant the palms, step back to plank, pause in your plank. Notice your hands connected to the floor. Notice the skin of your arms, broaden your shoulders just a little bit. Take one more moment. Beautiful, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Hands off the edges of your mat. We're gonna move into drunken serpent. So find that nice tall position of the hands. Inhale, lift your heart just as high as you like. Exhale and lower down. Right shoulder up and back. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale, lower down. Take it to the left. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale, lower down, slide your hands in, curl your toes under, either push your way up to table or power up to a plank. Find your way up to downward facing dog. We're gonna take the right leg up into three-legged dog. Pause just for a moment, toes and knees pointing down, take a nice big breath. And then if it feels good to do so, you're gonna bend the knee, let the hip roll open, and think about that skin at that front area of your hip or where your front pocket would be. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful, and then step that foot up to the top of your mat into a lunge if you can find it, or help it along if it needs a little assist. And then pause there for a moment. Lift your chest, lift your gaze. Notice the skin through the front of your heart. And then when you're ready, step that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, low lunge, toes curled under or released, totally up to you. Inhale, lift your heart up, arms up. Take it right into your twist. Left hand to the right knee, right hand to the hip, rotate to the right, take a nice big breath. Beautiful, and then when you're ready, release, unwind, hands to the ground, 3 half splits here, or rock yourself forward and back just a few times. That feels like a nice rhythm to you. Beautiful, as you rock forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, notice that left heel pushing back towards the end of your mat, left hand down, right hand reaches up. Right hand down, plant the palms, step back to plank. Bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows. Notice the skin of your arms as you lower gently down onto your belly. Hands off the edges of your mat, right into your drunken serpent. Inhale, lift your heart up nice and high. Exhale and lower down. Right shoulder up and back. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale, lower down. Take it to the left. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale to lower down, slide your hands in, curl your toes under, either push your way up to a table or power up to a plank. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Left leg is gonna come up into that three-legged dog, toes and knees pointing down to start. Notice the ball of your right foot connected to the ground. Notice your palms connected to the ground. And then if it feels good, lift that knee up, let the hip roll open. Notice the skin of that front left pocket area. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, step that foot through to the top of your mat, finding a lunge if you can, help it along if it needs, pause there for a moment, lift your chest, lift your gaze, notice that front heart space. And then when you're ready, step that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Awesome, inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, notice your feet connected to the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your side. Pause here for a moment in your mountain pose. Close your eyes down. Notice the outer edges of your skin. Are they cool or warm? Have you generated a little bit of heat so that it might feel like a little bit of moistness to the skin now? Take one more moment to notice. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Using our hands, we're going to do a little pat, pat, pat. So now we're just going to do that light pat down the outer edges of the side of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs to your belly. Give your belly a little rub, and then back down the outsides of the legs, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs to your belly. Give your belly a little rub. One more time here. Pat down, across the tops of the feet, up the insides of the legs to your belly. Give a little rub. Nice. And then 3 brushes down the side of the body. So hands as close to the armpits as you can. A nice firm brush, brush, brush. Awesome. And then let your hands come down at your sides, come back to your mountain pose. Notice your feet connected to the floor. Notice the skin in your legs. Notice the skin in your arms. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, low lunge. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Take a breath. When you're ready, unwind, hands to the ground. 3 half splits here, rocking forward and back. Maybe just find a rhythm. So it doesn't have to be free, but just find a nice rhythm or pace that feels good to you. And then the next time you come forward, curl the back toes under, lift that back knee up. Right hand's gonna touch down to the ground. Left hand's gonna reach up for a twist. Beautiful, bring that left hand down to the ground, plant your palms, step back to plank, lower your knees or lower in chaturanga. Inhaling up to cobra. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Right leg up into 3-legged dog. Notice your palms, notice your left foot. And then once you've noticed those connection points, lift the knee, let the knee roll open. Notice that front pocket area. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, step that foot through to the top of your mat, pause in your lunge, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then when you're ready, step that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing, notice the skin in the back of your body. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, left leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, release or tuck the toes, totally up to you. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, take it into a twist, rotating to the right. Beautiful, take a nice big breath. Notice the skin in the side of your body. Nice, and then when you're ready, release, hands to the ground. 3 half splits here, or just find a rhythm that feels good, rocking your hips back, peeling the toes up, and then rocking yourself forward. Beautiful, the next time you rock yourself forward, curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up, left hand down, right hand reaches up to the sky. Beautiful, right hand to the ground, plant the palm, step back to plank, lower your knees or lower in chaturanga, totally up to you. Inhaling up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Left leg up into 3-legged dog, toes and knees planking down to start. Notice your palms, notice your right ball of your foot connected to the floor. And then once you've noticed those connection points, maybe pick that right knee up, left knee up to let the hip roll open. Notice that front hip pocket area. Beautiful, when you're ready, step that foot through to the top of your mat, finding your lunge, help it along if it needs. And then once you're there, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful, and now step that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. And then from here in this folded position, soften your knees a little bit, toe heel your feet out nice and wide. And we're gonna sink down into our malasana or that nice low squat. Start by finding just a little bit of a rock in the knees side to side, and then sink your butt down just as far as it goes. Take a moment to find that depth. And then once you're there, if it feels available, elbows to the inner thighs, prayer hands together. Think about getting nice and tall here. And then if you can, come back to that idea of brightening through the outer edges of your skin. So pull up the soles of your feet, lift up through the crown of your head, right through the outer edges of your arms, through your fingertips, Notice that nice little space of warmth between your palms. Take one more moment. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your butt down to the ground. Soles of the feet are going to come together. We're going to take our thumbs. So think about that space right between the big toe and the second toe. There's that little line of space right there. So as we bring the soles of the feet together, we're going to see if we can find a little handhold that works. So maybe thumb, maybe index finger, whatever works. But now we're going to find that little space, that little line right about an inch or so, maybe even a centimeter below that web or connection point of the toes. And then put a little gentle pressure on, use your thumbs or index fingers, a little pressure on, draw some gentle circles in one direction. Notice that movement of skin underneath your thumbs or your fingers. Take those gentle circles, go the other way. Notice that movement there. And then as you make that movement happen, you can even look down and you'll notice there's movement that generates away from that point. So there's a movement actually in the soles of the feet and the toes. Might even be movement all the way up to the ankles. Take one more moment to notice. And then let all that go. Lift through the front of the body. Exhale, lean your heart forward just as far as you like. Take one more breath. Lift up through the crown of your head. Let your heart follow. Help your knees come together, and we're going to start to find our way down to the ground. So if you like that little bit of abdominal work, curl the tailbone under, engage those abdominal muscles, roll your way down with lots of control. So even to that point where your body wants to collapse into the ground, stay in control the whole way down. Beautiful. And then once you found your way down, just give your body a second. Let your spine readjust. Let your clothes get themselves situated. And then once you feel like you're in a good, happy, comfortable position, heels a little close to the butt, feet about hip width distance apart, just tune in and notice. Notice your feet connected to the floor, hands resting wherever feels the most comfortable. As you inhale, just lift your toes, spread your toes, notice the skin at the bottoms of your feet. As you exhale, soften your toes back down. Inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes. Exhale, soften your toes back down. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift your toes, spread your toes. Exhale, soften your toes down. Awesome. And now we're going to lift our legs up into a tabletop position. Pause for a moment. Think about drawing the belly button down towards the spine. Feel your back connected to the floor, and then relax that position, and you might feel that curve of your back. Pull your belly button down and release. Do that one more time. Pull the belly button down and then release. Nice. And now we're going to bring the right leg across the left, like we're crossing our legs in a chair. And then we're going to reach up and find a handhold. So maybe you'll catch hold of the shins, maybe you'll catch hold of your feet, whichever handhold works good for you. But once you've got it, pull the toes gently away from each other. So toes are pulling in opposite directions. And then we're going to come to center. So inhale, pull your knees into your chest, give a light little squeeze, and then release. And now when you pull the knees in, you're going to turn your head to the left and release. And then this time, as you pull the knees in toward your chest, you're going to turn your head to the right and release. Keep your head in a neutral position. Pull your knees back into your chest. Pause there. Take a nice full breath in. Slow breath out. Release your handhold from your shin, unwind your legs, but bring your legs back into that tabletop position and then back to that awareness of your center. Draw your abdominal muscles down, pulling the belly button towards the spine, and then release. Pull your belly button down and then release. Last time, pull your belly button down, but notice that movement of skin on the back of your body and then release. Nice. And now left leg is going to come across the right, like you're crossing your legs in a chair. Reach up, grab your shins or your toes, pull the toes away from each other, and then draw the knees into your chest. Release, and now we're going to add that head turn. So as you pull the knees into your chest, turn your head to the right and release. As you pull your knees into your chest, turn your head to the left and release. And now keep your head in center or in that neutral position. Pull your knees into your chest, pause there, take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then release your handhold, unwind your legs. Pull your right knee into your chest as your left leg extends nice and long, moving right into supine twist. Take that right knee over and across the body, right arm reaches out. And then as your right arm reaches out, notice the skin of your right arm. Take one more breath here. When you're ready, pull the right knee into your chest, bring the left knee into meet. Both knees are gonna hug in, give a light little squeeze, and then hold on to your left knee, send your right leg nice and long, and take your supine twist to the other side. Left knee over and across the body, left arm opens out nice and wide. And then once you've found that twisted position, notice the skin of your left arm. Awesome. When you're ready, pull that left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into meet. We're going to take it into a single leg up the wall with the one leg down. So left leg is going to touch down to the ground, right leg is going to reach up to the sky. Pause here for a second and just invite a softness into the leg so that you're not yanking against the hamstring just yet. And then invite some vibration in. So we're just going to give that right leg a good vigorous shake. Let your muscles be as soft as they can, especially up towards your foot, which might be free from any fabric of your clothes. Can you notice that little bit of movement or that shift of air on the skin of your foot? Give one more good vigorous shake and then keep that leg up. But now we're gonna walk up the leg, walk up towards your ankle, drawing the leg in just as close as feels comfortable. So you feel a nice little stretch in the back of the leg, but no zinging up into the butt. If you're feeling anything up in your butt, you might have gone too far. Draw it in. Nose towards knee, take one more breath. Awesome, and then gently release it all down. Pause for a moment with both feet on the ground and notice how one side feels a little different than the other. Great, and then when you're ready, lift the left leg up to the sky, find that softness to start, and then give that leg a good vigorous shake. Let the muscles be as soft as you can. Take one more good vigorous shake of that leg. And then when you're ready, walk your hands up towards the ankle, lifting the head, lifting the chest, nose comes towards knee. Pull that leg in just to the point where you feel good sensation in the back of the thigh or in those hamstring muscles, but not in your glutes. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully release. Head down, set that foot down, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat and take a few gentle windshield wipers here, just to bring some soft fluid movement back into your body, some fluidity into your hips, and then notice how your back feels here. And then as you start to move here, once you've got that rhythm down, maybe you tune in and notice the movement of skin. You might notice the movement of fabric against your skin. Take one more drop of the knees each side. And then when you feel ready, ask yourself where would be your best Shavasana. If you're in a colder space, maybe take a second to put your socks on, put your sweater on, or put your blanket on, especially in Colorado. If you got snow yesterday, it might feel really chilly. So give yourself a second to get yourself tucked in, nice and comfortable. Awesome. And then once you've got yourself set up, take a second to just get your body arranged in a nice way. Work out all those little wiggles. Wiggle your shoulders and your tailbone into a comfortable position, your hands and your feet into a comfortable position. And then before you go into that deeper state of your Shavasana, maybe just take a moment to notice. Notice the outer edges of your skin. Notice the parts of your skin that might be exposed to the open air. Your face, your neck, your ears, parts of your arms and your hands, your feet. Notice the parts of your skin that might be covered with fabric your socks, your sweater, your pants, your shirt. And then start to invite some softness in. If it feels good to do so, close your eyes down. Let your muscles and your bones get nice and heavy. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. As you lay here in the soft position, just take a moment to notice. Notice the gentle movement of breath in your body. Notice the gentle movement of skin that comes with the breath. And then when you feel called to do so, start to gently wake up your fingers, wake up your toes, move your wrists and move your ankles. If you've got a blanket on or any props, take a second to just kind of move them out and off to the side. And then once you feel like you've got all of that set up, walk your feet nice and long, reach your arms up and overhead, take that big good morning stretch, and then just feel your stretch of your skin as you reach from the tips of your fingers down to your toes. Take a nice full inhale, feel your skin move. Nice slow exhale, feel your skin soften. And then when you're ready, in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way to a comfortable seated position. Nice. And then as you come up to that comfortable seated position, just take a second to find that comfortable seat again. So wiggle into your sits bones, let your legs find that nice comfortable space. And then we're going to fire up the palms. So bring your palms together, start to fire them up. And then as you get your palms firing up, maybe you'll opt to close your eyes down and just for a moment, notice the texture of your palms. Are they warm or are they cool? As you start to feel a little bit of heat generate, you're going to bring your hands down to your feet, down to your ankles, wherever you can get a handhold. Close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Bring your hands back together, fire up those palms, get them nice and good and hot. As you start to generate that heat in the palms, now take your awareness down to the skin in your arms. So you might feel that the muscles are the thing that are most noticeable of that movement in your arms, but can you get a sense of the skin on your arms, maybe all the way up to your shoulders? Take one more friction of those hands and then give yourself a nice big hug. Catch your shoulders, give yourself a light little squeeze, close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath in. Nice slow breath out. Awesome. And then when you're ready, bring your hands back to your heart center. One hand stacked right on top of the other. Put a gentle pressure onto that chest. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift your chin up to the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale as you lift up. Notice that movement of skin at the front of your neck and your throat. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Notice the movement of skin on the back of your neck. One more breath here. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. And then soften that position, just allowing your head to be bowed to your heart. Take a nice deep breath in, breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to pay attention to yourself. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday.